What is a family or even a country if it's not bound by history? Hi guys, it's Purva and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to talk about a very different kind of book that I've come across, and that book is Remnants of a Separation by Aanchal Malhotra. So each chapter in this book is a different kind of story of different people belonging to various religious and financial backgrounds. The author brings to us their stories, which are as different as the South and North poles, but they have one thing in common, and that is the partition. So, as you can perhaps guess, the story revolves around the two main events in the history of India. These are the pre-independence era and the post-independence era. Aanchal Malhotra, who is the author of this book, was born in Delhi and is a historian by profession, specifically an oral historian. Interestingly, she is also a co-founder of a digital gallery called as Museum of Material History. What I liked about this book is its impact on the fact that these common people, just like you and me, have so much history in their family that if it gets lost in a generation gap, then the loss is non-comparable and a large one both to the country as well as to the family itself. The ties of one generation to another is bound by a single material or an object or an artifact, which also you can call it as an heirloom, which has been passed from one generation to another. The chapters one by one reveal the magic of these objects, from a small cooking vessel to a pearl earring and a necklace, from a cornerstone of the house to a gauze by which a fabric is measured. These objects act as storage spaces for the memories that have been deep sunken in the minds of the people, the most traumatic, the most sad memories which the people do not often recall in front of strangers, the memories of partition. These are called as material memories, as they arise by seeing or touching an object or a material around which those memories are spun. In author's words, these simplest objects which belong to a family can excavate memories which are deep buried in their minds. In a podcast, I heard that for the author, these objects served as catalyst for when she was interviewing the families, and this started the stories or the conversation that she had regarding the history of the family. In this book, the stories are the spine. The stories are so overwhelming that you forget about the minute negative aspects in the book. In the podcast, the author tells us that these objects for the families are mundane ones. They often use these objects in everyday life. They are still using the objects. But when you request to borrow it, then the importance of these come into forefront as they decline politely, saying that these objects belong to the ancestors and hence they cannot give it to anyone because they are nearly and dearly attached to them. What really made me connect with this book is a few of my personal experiences. Now, me and my husband often disagree on the fact that whether a person should have mental attachment with the objects that belong to the family or a person. My husband is of the opinion that a person should be as minimally involved with the non-living thing, as he quotes it, as possible. But for me, it is not about the money I spent or the money my family had spent in buying the object, but it is about the memories which are attached to the object. For me, if I dispose an old item or an artifact, I am disposing many memories that are attached to me or to my family, to my grandmother or my grandfather with it. So because of the habit of mine, I am often known as a hoarder, but actually I am just preserving the memories attached with the object and my family. Now, the generations preserve their history of the family by two ways. One, by passing on the objects or heirlooms from one generation to another, or by telling the stories, which is the simplest way of passing the information down the generations. For me, both my grandparents told me stories about their upbringing, their young age, how the political environment was, how the general environment where they grew up was, and that in some way had an impact on me growing up. When I was in school, I vividly remember that my grandfather told me a story about how he had survived death when he was traveling in a train during the time of partition. And that story has remained in my mind till today. And what I remember about it is that he specifically told me not to tell this to my grandmother, as she didn't know the story at all. This At that age, I was surprised and happy because he had shared with me a secret which he didn't tell anyone. But now, as I think about it, I really feel that he didn't want my grandmother to really get aware of the memories or of the times she had been living during the partition. And because these memories are really hurtful, and awaking these memories in the minds is really hard for a person who has gone through the partition period. As a non-fiction novel, it simply makes us flow from one story to another with new emotions sourcing through us as we flip through the pages. And yes, till the very end, you can never tell that this is the author's first book. So go ahead and give it a try and immerse yourself in some memories.